Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Happy Friday. It's Fun Friday. I'm Jessica Dugas. This is Project Joy Live. It's your triple shot of good vibes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at this 9 a.m. Eastern Time hour. My lighting on my screen is very strange today. And so for a minute there, you might have heard me like sort of talk and then not for a minute. It's because the the lighting on my screen is so strange. It looked like I was not ready to be on camera when the video ended, but I was, and I thought I wasn't, so I clicked it again. Anyway, I'm here with you and good morning. Um I was telling my co-host today before we came on the air that I said this the other day. I'm sort of in this transition space right now, if you will, in my life where my mental desires and the way that I feel mentally is not matching up physically. I have been, and we've talked about this before, as long as I can remember, a morning person, truly, where even if I stay up super late, I haven't ever slept in my life, ever. It's never happened. And so I thought, you know maybe I would reach the point where if I stayed up late that I would sleep in. That never happened. And now I'm still mentally awake, but my body is like, no, ma'am, I need to go back to sleep. And so it's not matching up right now. There's so many ways there's a way that I feel mentally and spiritually and energetically that is just not matching up with the physical right now. And it is very frustrating. I was telling you guys about this bracelet I got from Stacy the other day. So I'm going to scan it for us this morning and see what it says. You guys saw it's looks like a Lisa Frank sort of design. It's got dolphins on it. And when you scan it, it gives you an affirmation for the day. These ones are specifically about joy and healing. And this one says, you can't force healing, invite it with gentleness. You can't force healing, invite it with gentleness. There it is when I scanned it with the pretty dolphins. I love that one. And I think it's very smart, because I think when we're going through stuff physically, with our bodies, especially if it's really challenging for us, we want to rush it. We want to fix now. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm over it. I want to fix now. But when we do that, it invites more stress into our lives, which we know that stress does not help healing, and certainly doesn't help sleep and all these other things that we're talking about. So, but I love that one today, and it's a good reminder to invite healing with gentleness. We don't need to force and push things and all of that fun stuff. So, let me know that you're joining us and what is bringing you joy today. One thing that's bringing me joy is my fabulous co-host Danielle Valero is here this morning because it's 90s Fun Friday, everybody. We're going to be continuing our conversation on peace this week and talking about nostalgia as it relates to peace. Have you ever caught yourself saying, those were simpler times back then? Those were more peaceful times. Were they really, or are we in a time where, there's things that are contributing to the lack of peace now? Like, what's the difference between the two? We're going to talk about that coming up. Also, we're going to talk about so far the announcements that have been made for 90s Con for next year so far. I've got those pulled up and ready to share with you guys. And we're going to talk a little bit further about the couple, 2-3 people that I met in person last weekend that I haven't told the stories about yet. So we're going to talk about that too. Let's head over and see really quickly. Ollie is joining us this morning from over in Belgium. Good morning. Good to see you. Yesterday, I spent the whole night and this morning in bed. Very, very frustrating. It is when you like you have things I'm famous for saying when I don't feel good, I had stuff I had to do. Like this is not adding up with what I wanted to do, but sometimes we just have to roll with it. It is the country of chocolate, and every time I say Belgium, that's all I can think of, Ollie, and it's your fault. Just telling you this morning. Um, so listen, I have a lot to share with you today, and so we're gonna get rolling. And without further ado, let's welcome my friend and partner in crime with all things '90s, Danielle Valero. Good morning, Danielle.
I love that intro.
Isn't that fun?
Yes.
It's so fun. And my favorite part is the end with some of our pictures from
Oh
90s
yeah,
con.
I saw that. That's I like it.
It's a moment. It's a moment with our husbands gathered around Elizabeth Berkley while we each grabbed, Mario Lopez and Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Yes.
That was what it was, guys.
Hey.
All right. What is bringing you joy today?
Being here. It's Friday. It's the weekend. Probably gonna go and have a date night with my husband. That's always nice. So yeah.
Yay. Yes. We love the weekend. We really do. And it's exciting weekend around here because Sky turns 20 today.
Wow.
Yeah, second kid to reach their 20s. 4 more to go. So fun times. All right. So where should we start today? Let's start. Okay. So I wanted to, because I've already talked about this a little bit. Last Sunday, we surprised Margene and took her over to Horror Fest, which happens here, the same place that 90s Con does. So it was at the Connecticut Convention Center in Hartford, Connecticut. And we did not do a whole weekend. We did not even do a whole day. We literally went for a couple of hours, and that was it, with the intention of, first and foremost, getting to see Dee Wallace in person, who was on the Breakthrough show back in 2020. And so I showed this picture the other day, but all the celebrities in these things, they have different pictures out that you can pick from. And I already have, when Dee was on the show, she sent me some signed books of hers, and she sent the girls signed pictures from Just Add Magic, which is the show they watch with her on Amazon, and all of that. But this one picture is one that I've wanted for a really long time, so I went ahead and got it because it's the one from E.T.
Oh.
And I love this one. And she told the story. So apparently, this was the actual animatronic, ET that they used, and Steven Spielberg had everybody in the cast take a picture with it, and then he signed it and sent it off with them as like a memento of doing the movie. So I've seen the picture that Drew Barrymore has with this as well. And so I love this picture of Dee. And so this is the one that I picked. And she, of course, was just as lovely in person as she was when she came on the show. She's really, she talks about the work that she does in films, but she's an intuitive channel. She does a lot around spiritual and personal development. Like, she really is very, connected to God, to the universe, and so she brings that energy with her at these events when, you think you're at Horror Fest, and she just lights up the room. So there's that. But she was there. She's been in the most horror movies out of any American actress ever. She has the longest list. She was in the original Hills Have Eyes. She was in, Cujo and The Howling and all of those things. So she was there, like, literally smack dab between an actor from The Howling and Danny Pintorro, who was there for Cujo. And we know Danny Pintorro as well from Who's the Boss.
Yes.
So While I was waiting for D, I went and chatted with Danny, and he signed this for me. I was gonna get the one of him and D from Cujo, but I was like, this is iconic right
Yes,
here,
it
because
is.
I said this is the one. I feel like if Danielle was here with me, this is the one she would have picked too.
Yes. Yes.
I love it. And so he wrote on here, you guys can't really see it, but it says, "You're the boss." It says, "Jessica, you're the boss." So in case there was confusion,
Let everybody in the house see that.
that's what I said. I said, I'm going to put this up, and my kids are going to read it daily. But oh my God, I just, so Danny Pintoro was so kind and so sweet and wonderful, and we just stood there having a conversation. There was nobody behind me in line, so we were just cutting it up, and we were talking about you know, I said, how come you haven't come to like a 90s con or whatever?
Yeah.
And he said to me, okay, so this is tea, guys, all right, he said, "I've never been invited." And I said,
What?
"Excuse me?" And he told me that everybody either wants the full cast or Alyssa Milano. And so I was like, this is not okay. It's not okay, Danny. You realize
We
that?
got a petition.
And well, that's what I said. I said, I'm going to email, and they're going to be like, "Who are you? We don't care." But I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to do it. So I need everybody to email That's For Entertainment and tell them. I just commented on one of their posts as well that we want Who's the Boss reunion, including Danny Pintoro.
Especially.
Yeah. Yeah, he was so cute. So I'm rewatching that right now, as well as a couple other shows, because I get in this once they start making announcements for 90s Con. I start rewatching things so that I can feel prepared to.
I was doing that yesterday with my
Were you?
daughter. Yeah, we were watching Dawson's Creek.
There it
And
is.
she finally, after like 3 episodes, she goes, "This is awful." And I'm like, "What? This was what?
Yeah.
My favorite show ever when I was a teenager. And you just called it awful. What?"
I know. It's well, it's interesting to go back and watch some of them. Well, and that's what I was. So when I met Danny on Sunday, I started watching some episodes of Who's the Boss, which, by the way, I want to get better about telling you guys on our 90s shows where you can watch these shows, because there's so many that are available right now for free or that come with the subscriptions you already have. So we're rewatching Who's the Boss right now that's included with Hulu or Disney Plus, and so that's on there. But you know what struck me about that is that you would never see the kind of interaction that happening on there today. So basically the first episode, Tony Danza's character moves from New York to Connecticut to be the housekeeper for Angela and her son, who live alone in a house. And apparently Angela's mother hired him when she didn't know, so she wasn't happy about it at first, and so he just moves in, and she's hesitant at first, but he like seems nice enough. And then the whole first episode, like, she has a date and he's all up in her business, and I'm like, this would never happen today. Things were simpler times, and that's what we're talking about on the show today. So it was interesting to me how quickly, I realize for TV's sake that you need to move things along, but it was fast. It was very fast what happened there. So Danny Pintoro, super nice guy. Go watch Who's the Boss, and definitely go back to and watch Cujo. And I know that there's some people out there, Danielle, who are not big fans of the horror movies, but You know what really helped me is we stayed for the panel where Dee and Danny talked about taping Cujo, and and just learning about I for anybody that didn't know, Dee had it she was so concerned about how the dogs were going to be treated for the film that she had it written into the contract that the dogs had to be treated a certain way. Like she wanted
Wow.
to make sure that it was going to be, you know, that the dogs were not going to be harmed, that they were going to be treated really well. And they did tell us a couple stories from behind the scenes that I'm just not even going to repeat because yeah. I would not have
Okay.
wanted to be there for that with the dogs. But for the most part, you know, everything went off really well. And I think it while that movie scared the crap out of me growing up, now I feel like having seen them and listened to like the behind the scenes stuff that it's like I'm going to receive it differently now if I go to watch it again. And so if you ever feel like no, absolutely not. Ollie's out here talking about misery, and can you I would not play the role Kathy, but no. Okay. So I would not do that. Um but I feel like I could go back and watch it now with less fear, you know, than the first time. Maybe, I don't know. So I might try to do that. The other person that we met while we were waiting was John Cusack. Now, John Cusack has been in a lot of different movies over the years. We know that I'm trying to frame this as best as I can here. Okay. So we know that when we go to these events that there are people who come to the events that have been in maybe a lot more things than other people. Dee Wallace being one of them. She's been in a crap ton of stuff. But John Cusack by far had the highest prices of any celebrity I have
Cool.
ever seen at any of the events I've ever been to.
Oh no.
Um he was nice. He's very quiet. He's not at all what you know, like you get some people that are obviously very different than the characters they play. He was very, very quiet. He didn't say much of anything
Oh.
at all. Uh he was nice enough. That's all I unfortunately that's all I came away from our time with him. We probably had 45 seconds with him and that was it at his table. It was in and out, very quiet, man of few words, whatever. My husband wanted this photo. We did not take a selfie with him. We did not, none of that. We just got an autograph here because my husband wanted this from Say Anything. So we have that. And he was nice, but that's all I can come away with. And I will say, because now you've been to one of these events as well, that when if you go for just a day, you drop a lot of money. If you were to go through for a whole weekend, you drop a crap ton of money. And you really learn the difference between the celebrities that are there because they love what they do so much and they love their fans so much and they're ready to answer any question for you, and they're as inquisitive about you as you are about them. And like I think when I met James Vanderbeek, which I've had a moment with the last few days seeing all the clips from the Dawson's Creek reunion.
Oh God, you're gonna make me cry because that was a lot. Yeah.
It was a lot. If anybody hasn't seen that, James Vanderbeek videoed in. He couldn't attend the Dawson's Creek reunion because he's been fighting cancer, but he got stomach virus on top of it. It's very difficult to see that video and knowing that we saw him like less than 2 years ago. My husband and I got to spend some time with him at 90s Con. And he was, like I said, he was just as inquisitive about us and then as we were about him. He was asking, we were talking about our kids because we both have 6 kids. And so we're talking about that. And we're talking about, just growing up in that era and, being in Connecticut because he's from Connecticut and all the, you know, it wasn't, I didn't feel like, oh, geez. I didn't feel like I was talking to a celebrity. It was like standing there talking to a friend, like an old friend that you haven't seen in a long time. And so it's beautiful to have those experiences at these events, and it takes some of the more cold or more questionable. It just makes you forget about those and focus on the ones that are really, really good. And so I'm looking forward to the next one, which once we get through our convo here in a few minutes, I will tell you about the announcements that have been made for next 90s Con so far. And we'll get into that. But if you get a chance to go to these, you're not guaranteed that every interaction that you have with a celebrity or with the event itself is going to be perfection. Okay. They're humans just like we are. They have bad days just like we do. Some of them are more quiet than others. They're individuals, but go, because it's an experience. And if you at all lean into the nostalgia like we do, it's a good time. It's a good time. We're going to take a really quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about going back to a time of peace. I wish I could play Huey Lewis and the News Back in Time from Back to the Future, but we would get kicked off the air. And with that, we're going to go to break and we'll be right back after this.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. Happy Friday, everybody. It's Friday, September 26, 2025. Next week, it's October.
Oh, gosh.
I know. That's exactly how I feel, actually. I don't know where it went. I have no idea. I love what Ollie said, by the way. Now everything is thrown at our faces. Up to us to something in French to say yes to what's empowering and say no to what's destructive or fake. It's up to us to discern. Say that for us in French, Ollie. Not that we can hear you.
I know. I was like, I want to hear it, though.
He would, too. If he was here, he totally would say it. All right. So we've been on this theme of peace this week. And I figured it was a good theme for us to lean into, being that I was at peace while I was off social media. But what before we get into how it relates to nostalgia, like, what does peace mean to you at this point in your life?
Well, that's a tricky question. I don't know, but for me, just having a moment with myself, um, to talk to God, to reflect on things, and just be by myself. It's usually, I like to go out in my yard, or a really big yard, and I just sit in the middle of the grass, shoes off, start to get myself grounded. Sometimes I go and touch the big tree in my yard. And I know it sounds corny and cheesy, but it does bring a lot of peace to me, where I just need to get away from the noise, get away from my phone, everything, and just be by myself and, have some self-reflection, some conversation with a higher source. And it does bring me a lot of peace, but I really have to shut everything out for a little while to get to that space, because I can't get there unless I have just alone time. And nature feels better.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard, to get that in, like where we live, we do have 4 seasons, and it's getting closer to the cold, right? And that's not Danielle's favorite part of the year. I try to bring the sunshine to Danielle's life when I'm happy during the winter and she's not. So like, but I do miss that though too. Like, this time of year, even though I'm not a big fan of the heat per se, I do like to go outside barefoot. That's like I'm barefoot all the time. And so I love that, feeling the ground beneath my feet, whether, I don't care what kind of ground it is, I just love it. And because it makes me feel very, brought down to the earth, and a little more peaceful than I started out. And it's hard now, and I've talked about this so many times. When you and I are on the show, we talk about how things were. We were always talking about 80s and 90s and that time. And I feel like it really was a slower culture in general. Mm-hmm. And so I wonder, and this is one of the things I was sitting there thinking about, is if the world itself was truly more peaceful at that time, or were we just unaware or not as aware of the stuff that was going on? What's your thoughts about that?
I think a little bit of both, to be honest. Not knowing everything all the time puts you in a place of peace in itself, because if you don't know that it's going on and you're not aware of all the stuff, you can't be affected by it, right? I mean, mentally, you're just going on with your life like la 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 la, and none of it's really affecting you. But also, I do feel like it was a simpler time, and I do feel like, I don't feel like it's definitely different now. I guess I just know it's just different now. It's different, and not just because of the internet. It's just, I'm sure that has a lot to do with it, but it's just a different atmosphere than what it was back then. And yes, it was a simpler time. But yeah, I think we also didn't know a lot. So
I agree, actually. Because I sat with this for a while, and I felt like maybe we just didn't know what we didn't know. And I feel like in some instances, yes, but I also feel very strongly that us being bombarded by information right now, and how quickly we get riled up about something. And because we get riled up so quickly, that does increase the instances that actual bad things are going to happen, because people are riled up more quickly.
Oh yeah.
And so I do feel like it's the world has changed, that it's not as peaceful as it was. how much, I think it's hard to gauge, because because I do think, like you said, that there are things we just didn't know back then because we
Yeah.
didn't have it smushed
Right
into
in
our
our
face.
face. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we had
And
the news. I
yeah.
remember the OJ thing was like a huge thing when I
Yeah.
was like a young teenager. And we would, instead of online, we would argue with each other. Well, do you think he did it? No, he didn't do it. And like make jokes about it. And then you just moved on. Like nobody got triggered by it because somebody had a
Because it
different
wasn't in your
opinion.
face all the time.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think more people are, I don't want to say sensitive, but easily triggered now. And it's like
Mhm.
back when we were kids in the 90s, I don't think people just moved on. You said
Yeah.
something, then someone said something, and you just moved on with life. And we did it face to face, not we did it in person. If you're behind like a computer typing away, you're not doing a face to face. So you're going to be more bold
Yeah.
about what you're saying
Yeah.
because you're like, oh, just, you're not in their face saying it. I wish some people would say some things to my face that they say behind the keyboard.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish.
I wish you would.
Thanks.
It's true. I mean, people have they're behind the protection of their screens now. And so it is very different in that way. There's things that people will say that it truly takes my breath away sometimes. I'm like, y'all have way more guts than I have here, because I could never, because and I think, it's interesting because I process things very differently. And you and I have had a conversation about this before, where I have never really seen the relationships with people online as different than what's in person. And I think that makes a huge difference in how you treat people online. I think it makes a huge difference in how you operate in general, because it's even in our virtual community that we're in a lot, there's moments where I'll be in a meeting and people will just come and go as they want, which is fine. It's their prerogative, but it's because they're thinking of it more as like the online space. And I go back to, if we were sitting in someone's living room, like say this was someone's actual room, would you just be walking in and out of the room like or the house like that? Could you imagine how weird would that be to just come and go and not even say goodbye, just leave the damn room?
Yeah. No, it's true. It's so different. People treat it differently too. I've had people say, I've known you a long time and I really like the person you are, but not so much online. I don't like you online. I'm like, that's me though. Do you think I'm putting on a facade? Like it's still me. There's still my opinions. There's still, if I post something either inspired me or I relate to it or I know somebody who relates to it and I agree with it, that's still me. So you can't separate. Why are you separating?
Right.
I'm going to take offense to that because that's still me. So
right.
What do you mean you don't like me? You don't like the internet me? Excuse me?
Well, and I know that I think some of it probably comes down to compartmentalizing in relationships a little bit. When I don't see anything online from you that I don't also see in person. So there's no disconnect for me. But I do know that sometimes like there might be certain topics that I don't discuss with a person because I compartmentalize, because I know like that something's going to bother them or whatever. And I just don't feel the need to go down there. So maybe there are those bits and pieces that people see of us online
that's true,
come across as a little different, because maybe they're just not topics that we would talk about with them in person, because maybe we're just being courteous because we know they're not going to like those topics.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm in certain situations around a group of people, family, whatever, and I don't want to engage in certain topics because I know I have a difference of opinion and I don't like to sit there and debate. That's not my thing. You believe what you want to believe. that's fine. I accept you, whatever. As long as you have good morals, I accept you. And I'll believe what I want. You're not going to change my mind. I'm not here to change your mind. So let's not even talk about it. Because that's how I am. That's right. Some people like to debate. My husband loves to debate. He loves to go back
Our
and forth.
husbands have that in common.
So I get mad at him when he starts doing that. And don't include me. I want nothing to do with it. Like, I want to leave
this is
now.
the
actually.
moment when all four of us are out, that our husbands go that direction and Danielle and I go over here. And so it works out really well.
It works out great. It works out so good.
It does. You know, it's up to us not to take debate.
Ooh, I like that.
See,
that's a good one.
Ollie's always out here with the words. I love it. Just not in French that time. Thank you, Ollie, so we could read that one. So by the way, Danielle gave me a little Care Bear mug. I think it was last Christmas, and I always have my Care Bears close by here. So I think, I think we've determined that things it probably was a combination of both back then, that things were a little bit of a simpler time, and that things also, we probably were not aware of a lot of things too. So are there things that you feel like that we could adopt from that time that made things simpler? Or do you think that it's like that it's a lost cause?
It's a lost cause. Too far gone. I don't even have to think about that one. First of all, you're not going to get rid of the internet. Right. It's going to be here. You're not going to get rid of social media. It's going to be here. Everybody has an opinion, and they're louder online, and more bolder online. Rather than saying things to people's faces, you're able to hide behind a keyboard and say whatever you want. And I think we need to just adopt how we were back in the 90s, where things got to roll off. Like, you can't take everything so personal. You know yourself, who you are. So if they're saying something out of context to your character, you should know enough what your character is and be comfortable with yourself to not get triggered by it. And you kind of got to be like, oh, that's a troll. Bye. Like, you don't mean nothing to me, so I don't really care what you have to say. Yeah. And just move on with life. So we got to go back to those times with that situation where we used to be like, rubber, your glue, whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you, or, whatever we used to say. We just went on with our lives.
Circle, dot, dot. Now you got a cootie shot.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me.
That's it. I mean, we've got to develop a little bit of a thicker skin, and also hold each other accountable for the way in which we say things. I really just like, there's something to be said for knowing someone's heart, but if they're always presenting things in a way that is like, that that's not what they mean, but they're being so hurtful by it. We've got to hold each other. There's got to be some sense of responsibility, because I think that the personal and spiritual development worlds are very quick to go, it's how you receive things. You choose, how you react to things. Yes, but we cannot take the responsibility completely off of how things are being said. Don't be an asshole when you say things a certain way. You really don't have to be like that.
I always say it's in the tone, it's in the delivery. And obviously, if you're having a conversation with a friend or family, somebody you care about, somebody you put at a higher standard than just some troll on the internet, they're talking to you a certain way, yes, we should hold them accountable. It's not like us being triggered easily or you hurt my feelings. It's more of like, well, I respect you and you just said something and I just want to clear this up because this is how it made me feel, but I don't know if you meant it that way. So can we have a conversation about it?
Yep. So important. Listen, ultimately, if you enjoy the nostalgia, sometimes a good thing to do is to remind yourself of it. And I think when we have these shows, when I go to 90s Con, when I watch some of the old TV and movies, I am reminded to slow down a little bit. And so that's where nostalgia can really come into play and create a little breakthrough for you in your life to tell you, hey, just slow down a little bit. One of the things that Danny Pintoro said in the panel with Dee Wallace when I saw them, and I'm so glad that this now comes back in my brain because I really wanted to share about this. He said, with the sitcoms, we don't grow up together anymore. He's like, all of us grew up together. A show would come out once a week. We would be coming out once a week with you guys, and we would be growing up the same time. Now you get an entire season of a show thrown out on Amazon or Netflix or whatever. You binge watch it. Nobody grows up together anymore. We're not like seeing each other through life together like we used to. And so when we think about these nostalgic times, we can go, hey, like, how can we grow up together? And now we're not, I mean, you and I grew up together for real, and now we're growing old together. It's so fun.
Oh, it's so much fun. Yeah. So much fun.
It's but I would so much rather that than the little, snippets of life that we get on social media, and then that's it. You don't really know each other in that way anymore. And it's hard. I think. Anyway, we're going to take one more super, super, super quick break. When we come back, we're going to tell you about who's been announced so far for 90s Con 2026. And we've got birthdays and all that fun stuff. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back to Project Joy Live. It is Fun Friday. We've got the QR code up in the top left corner of the screen where you can visit our virtual community 24/7, 365. I'm any of the time that I used to spend scrolling, I'm hanging out over there now. I'm seeing people's faces. I'm having conversations. I am not scrolling. It's not happening anymore. So come visit us in the virtual community, the breakthroughshownetwork.club, or you can scan the QR code in the top left corner of your screen. So 90s Con has been very slowly rolling out the announcements for 90s Con 2026, which is happening March. Let me pull this up really quick so I don't tell you all the wrong thing. It is happening March 13, 14, and 15th. 13, 14, 15th in Hartford, Connecticut. Highly recommend that you come join us because it is so much fun. So even if you can only come for one day, let us know. And I really would like to this year plan for anybody that wants to come, maybe on Sunday because it's more low-key that day. But on Sunday, we could all, if anybody wants to come, we could all have a little breakthrough table. I'll get a table and we'll all, hover over there and have some fun, like pictures in the little selfie section or whatever. But that would be fun to do. So without further ado, who have they announced so far? First announcement was Nick Carter and AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys. Very excited about that. AJ was there last year. I did not have time to meet him, but Nick Carter was not. So that's a new one. And the girlies are going to be going berserk. They're going to be going crazy. And then we have Larry Brantley, who I think, if I'm not mistaken, because when they made the announcement, it was in and out of my head so quickly. I think it was Wishbone, the dog. Wishbone. Do you remember Wishbone? Hold on. I'm going to try to show you guys really quickly.
He does look familiar, though.
He is a voice actor. Yes, Wishbone the dog. Wishbone the dog. Okay, hold on.
Sing the intro, Jessica.
I don't know the intro,
Oh,
actually.
I was gonna say that always
not...
brings back my memory. If you sing the intro, I'll know.
I don't know.
Darn.
Okay, hold on. Let me share. Oh my God. Okay. Let me share to show you, because once you guys see the dog, I think you'll be like, oh, okay. Here's Wishbone. You guys remember the little dog?
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I knew of the dog, but I was not a huge fan. But I know that there's going to be a lot of people who are very excited about that because, if you think about this, you know how many like animal things came out at that time? Remember, like, they came out with The Adventures of Milo and Otis. Do you remember that one?
Yeah. Yep.
There was a lot of animal things that Beethoven had come out about that to later 90s. And so there was a lot of animal things, I feel like, that came out at that time. Okay, let me go back to our announcement page here. All right. So we had the Backstreet Boys, we had Larry Brantley. We also have coming back, I'm so excited about this, the cast of Step by Step, which I'm really pumped about because the only one that I got to meet the last time, well, I got to meet two the last time. Not Patrick Duffy, not Christine Lincoln. I got to meet Stacey Keenan, which we had such a great conversation. It was the end of the day when I got to meet her. So there was hardly anybody around. And we just stood there gabbing for like 20 minutes about random things. And she was really, really lovely. And so Stacey Keenan, I'm hoping to get to say hi to her again. But the rest of the cast is going to be there, including, like I said, Patrick Duffy, Christine Lakin, Angela Watson, Christopher Castile, Sasha Mitchell, Josh Byrne, and Jason Marsden. Jason Marsden was the other one that I got to meet from Step by Step last time, but he was in a lot of things. Step by Step, Full House. He was the voice in all the Goofy movies back in that time. He's done a ton of voiceover work, more than you might even realize, but he is so much fun. He's the one that took my phone from me and was leaving all kinds of selfies on my camera roll that I did not ask him for. He's great. He's so much fun. And so I will probably go, and him and my husband stood there talking about beards for 10 minutes. It was hilarious. So we'll leave the boys to go do that again this year.
Oh, wow.
And then there was one more announcement that is not even on the page yet. So give me a minute to pull it up here. Okay. And this comes the little video we're going to watch because I almost cried when I saw this because it was so cute. Where are we at here? Here we go. All right, you guys ready?
Of course I did. Don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. Hey.
So exciting that Bronson Pinchot and Mark Lynn Baker from Perfect Strangers are going to be there. I loved that show growing up.
I didn't really watch it. I know of it. I've sat through a little bit of it here and there, but never actually got into it like that.
I loved that show. And I mean, if we want to geek out about acting chops for a minute, I did not know until I had gotten older that Bronson Pinchot was like American. Like, I had no idea that he had a regular accent. Bronson Pinchot as Balky in that show was just, I mean, from an acting perspective, incredible, because he just seemed so authentic to the character. And it's so funny that Ollie is here today because Ollie, you remind me so much of that character, of just in the way of that he's innocent, like he has this innocence about him, and I just love it. It cracks me up. And so I'm really excited. He was also in Bronson Pinchot was also in all of the Beverly Hills Cops movies. He was also in The Langoliers. Do you remember that one from Stephen King? That you probably wouldn't have watched because that was a scary one.
Yeah, probably not.
That was a scary one. But I am very, very, very excited about that one. Let me go back to the comments here. Holy cow. Okay. So I'm not keeping up here. I mean, listen, we're going back to what we were talking about. This is probably a thing. Probably.
Oh.
Probably. But we haven't really discussed this on the network yet because it's also the situation where I feel like narcissism is a word that's thrown around a lot now.
Yeah,
And it is a official psych diagnosis. And so we have to be, I think, a little more careful of using it than we are now. But that said, I don't necessarily disagree with you, Rez, by the way. All right, let's see. Let me scroll. Beethoven. Yes, the movie Beethoven with the dogs. Do you remember that one, Ollie?
Yes.
Did you say downtown Julie Brown would be there? I did not say that, but it would be cool if she was. It would be very cool if she was. I think people are waiting for, and let me know, by the way. I'm gonna put a little Joyversation question on the screen. If you could pick one person or one show to come to 90s Con, who would you want to see there? Let us know while we're chatting about this. Charmed, Buffy, Friends. I know a lot of people are Friends fan. I was not.
I was not.
Buffy was there. No, not Buffy. Charmed was there last time.
Oh yeah, they were.
And so that was really nice to see them there. And you were afraid of the Langoliers. It was fascinating though to me. Let me see. Yeah. Time flies. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. Time flies. All right. We gotta do birthdays, but let us know in the meantime any character from Charmed or Buffy. But you're in Belgium. Just fly over. Just get your private jet and fly over, Ollie. Rez, on the other hand, is very close in New York. I think you should come over, Rez, and join us because I think we're going to do maybe a get-together day on that Sunday, which is the 15th. So March 15th, Breakthrough Show Network meetup at 90s Con. It should happen. I'm just saying. All right, we got to do birthdays. You ready, Danielle?
Yep.
Here we go.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, birthdays. Let me get my birthdays. I sound like Willy Wonka. Okay. All right. In the world of celebrities, Serena Williams turns 44 years old today. Olivia Newton-John, who passed away in 2022, had a birthday today. One of my favorites of all time. She would have been. She was actually, when I first created the Breakthrough Show, she was on my list of dream people that I wanted to have on the show.
Aww.
I made this list of, and so when she died, I was very, very sad. Christina Milian, remember her?
Oh yes.
Years old today.
Yeah.
Yep. 44. Linda Hamilton from the Terminator movies, among many other things, 69 years old today.
Wow.
Linda Hamilton is. And you ready for this throwback? This is going to take you back to early elementary school.
Uh-oh.
Johnny Appleseed, who passed away in 1845.
My brain just did some. Oh, wait a minute.
Today was his birthday. He planted apple trees and whatnot.
Jessica.
You don't remember learning about Johnny Appleseed in school? I also want to give a big happy birthday to Josh Michalski, who was my freshman year homecoming date. Happy birthday, Josh Michalski. And my son, Sky Dugas, is 20 years old today. Happy birthday, Sky. Any birthdays you're celebrating today, Danielle?
Not today, but my grandson's is October 7th. Yes, grandson. Yes.
All right, what's give me first name.
Eli.
Okay, I got it. I got it on the list. Here we go. All right. By the way, everybody, we're going to be scooting off here real quick after the show because we have co-working coming up this morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Head over to the co-working room and I will meet you over there when the show's over. Okay. All of that said, let's get our birthday song on. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Serena Williams, Olivia Newton-John, Christina Milian, Linda Hamilton, Johnny Appleseed, Josh Michalski, Sky Dugas, and Danielle's grandson, Eli. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating. Did you hear, by the way, Danielle, that we had wanted to make a t-shirt that said something about Muppet energy to go along with that but we can't use the word Muppet.
Oh.
Even if it's not capitalized or with the word it's trademarked completely. Locked down. Very sad.
That's wild.
It is. It makes me sad. You just can't even, you could say the word Muppet, but you can't put it on anything. Nada.
Wow.
I was thinking we could write the word Muppet and put a little star in the place of the vowel so it almost looks like a swear.
I mean, I'm sure there's ways around it. You just got to put your thinking cap on.
Yeah. Find another paw print. Anyway. Thinking chair. Anyway. Going too far now. By the way, Derek is here and he says hello. He was out. He knows you, I think. He said hi, Danielle, a long time ago. I'm sorry, Derek. There it is. Hello.
Oh.
There you go. There it is. All right. You guys, I've lost it. So just FYI, I'm sorry. Thank you for being here with me today, Danielle. It's always a good time.
What is happening?
I don't know. This is what happens on Fun Friday, everybody.
It's the birthday song. The energy from the birthday song, like it. I was like not fully awake until that song played, and
okay, I need one of these that makes the bleep noise, like how you bleep out a swear.
Oh,
and I could be like, energy activated. So then I don't have to.
So instead of
So you don't have to say the M word.
Not the M word. You and Brittany got to watch out.
I know.
You guys use the M word all the time.
I know. The M word is worse than any other word,
apparently.
Okay. All right, guys. I'm Jessica Dugas. This is Danielle Valero. I'm going to be back here with you guys next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Until that time, I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. I'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.
I've been trying, and I've been lifting myself